Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm so blessed and honored to be here today live in Omaha at the NEI Global Relocation GPA Summit with Michelle Moore, COO of NEI Global Relocation. Michelle, thanks for being here with me today and having me.
Oh, Ben, we're so excited to have you. It's been a phenomenal week, and you were just the icing on the cake, so we're glad to have you here.
Thank you. It's been a great cake so far. Just the energy in the hallways. I met some of your clients last night coming out of the client event that y'all host, and kind of explain this week to people maybe who haven't had a chance to kind of get to Omaha and experience it.
This is an absolutely wonderful week for everyone at NEI. We start off the week with our clients, bringing them in to talk about the latest trends and topics and what's going on in mobility. They have the opportunity to meet all of their team members, which is always a highlight for many of them. We just have a great time with educational sessions, having a little bit of fun. Yeah. And some great food.
Yeah.
And then as our clients are wrapping up, we have all of our service partners start to come in, such as you and all the people that you're starting to see kind of filter in now.
Yep, they're out there. They're out there, some of them, yeah.
So it's a great crowd, and it's a great time for our teams to get to connect with people that are usually behind an email or behind a service order, and just being able to work together, see each other in person, and again, some more great educational sessions, some great networking opportunities, some fun, and some good food.
Yep, I love it. I love it. Get in the comments. I want to know who you are, where you are. Check in with us. We'll give you a shout out. Michelle, one of the things I love about this is because we're coming to you in Omaha, your whole company gets to really take part in this. I mean, I get to meet people at all different levels from all different departments to do all different kinds of things, and then kind of get immersed into the NEI culture. It's really cool.
Absolutely. And this is the favorite part of many of our team members because they get to really put a live 3D person behind who they're maybe sending emails to, who they're processing as expenses for, who they're sending payroll reports to, tax reports. Everyone gets to have a piece of it, and our committee and our marketing department, they're doing a phenomenal job behind the scenes putting this all together. It does take a very large village to get all of this put together.
Yeah, and you can't see this right now, but we're actually on the main stage right now in the big ballroom. What's going to happen here tonight?
Tonight we are going to have the great opportunity for our service partners to have some booths and have some displays and have all of our employees be able to network or go around and connect with everyone. It's always a great time.
Yeah.
Our team members look forward to it every year.
And I love the fact, let's give some shout outs real quick. We got some people checking in here. We got Ray Abbott checking in from Tippett Richardson up in Canada. What's up, Ray? Good to see you there. Mel Smith. Hi, Ben and Michelle. What's up, Mel? Good to see you from Aversal checking in. And we do have Hosea Botley, founder of Aversal Global. He'll be on later to kind of wrap us up. Adrian Grimes, hello from Glomo. What a panel we have. Yes, we got like 6 people on today. We're going to have to kind of keep it moving here a little bit, Michelle. I don't know. Nan Park here live from Nashville. Would love to see a 360 shot of the event. Nan, I'll put some pictures up. I'll do like a slideshow or whatever. Maybe I'll even do a TikTok. I've been getting into the TikToks lately.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I'll try for you, Nan, okay? Mark Burchell checking in. Greetings from Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Hi, Michelle. Hit that like button.
Hi, Mark.
Get in the comments here. Sandra Clary. Hi, all joining live 30 minutes before my next call. What's up? Make it meaningful. Thanks. You know what, Sandra? You get what you pay for, okay? All right, Sandra. So come on. Stop playing on my line over here, Sandra. Just kidding. We love you, Sandra. But I do love the structure because when you get to bring all these people in from your organization, I hear from people all the time when they join this industry that they're just amazed at how many interconnected different partners there are and how all these different kind of verticals of service work together to come together into this beautiful experience that you curate so well, and so it's neat that you're bringing folks out because then they get to meet these service providers that make the magic happen on the ground. Try regionally because, as you can see here, you're in Switzerland and Singapore and stuff too, right? So, I just love the energy.
And I think our service partners love it because so often we hear, we learned what the household goods company did, and as a temp living company, we didn't realize how that fits together, or the mortgage companies. So it's great that our service partners also have the opportunity to learn from each other in a very non-threatening and fun way, that we all can be partners because we're all working for the same goal of our clients and their employees.
Yeah, totally. And it's all one big team effort, right? You can't do it without any part. Jim Walsh, hey folks from Syracuse, what's up, upstate New York? Jill checking in. This is a great option to participate. Hey, there you go. Yeah, we're bringing it to you. Look at this. Yasmin here from Jackson, New Jersey. Love the energy. Well, thank you, Yasmin. Appreciate you. Let me ask you this. You said the clients were coming in and talking about industry trends and hot topics. Give us a little bit of a flavor of that. What's on people's minds?
A lot of what's on people's mind is volume.
Yeah.
Where's volume at? There's been a little bit of a pause, and we all recognize that or feel that. And the positive news coming off of our clients is they're all feeling that there'll be increased activity in 2025 in the new year. So we're all excited to hear about that. After that, there's things with NAR, the U.S. real estate market. While kind of bumpy, it's all settling out, just working through new things with a lot of education. We have the new port strikes.
Yes.
So watching
that's like
for what is
yesterday.
that going to be.
Like that just hit.
That just hit. Unfortunately, things going on have heated up again in Israel, so making sure from a duty of care that everyone is safe that has still remained in Israel with expats or people traveling. So there's been a lot going on, just even in the last 48 hours.
There is a lot going on. I mean, you did a great job of talking about all of it too. One of the things that I was actually having a conversation with one of your amazing people at the bar last night, okay, was, and we were talking business, but she handles tax, for you guys, and does a great. Jamie, her name was, I think.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to Jamie. Met you last night.
Jamie, our senior director of expense disbursements.
Very knowledgeable. Talking to me about how many times you have to grow something up to get to the actual number. I think the number's 12, by the way, a little relo trivia for you right there. But I was talking to Jamie a little bit as we were watching the vice presidential election and everything, and we were talking about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. I was like, when is this thing supposed to sunset? And she told me end of 2025.
Correct.
And I'm really kind of thinking this is one of the big things that I don't feel like we're talking about enough, but next year, this could be a major change.
That's right. I think everyone's waiting. We'll know more after November as to the likelihood of will it really sunset? Will it not? Will it change? Will it change in amounts? What will come? So right now, I think everyone's on a pause on that topic.
Yeah.
It's in a wait and see.
Yeah, really interesting. Get in the comments. I want to know, what are you thinking about right now? We got Michelle Moore for another few minutes here because we've got a whole lot of folks on deck here. We got Philip Wynn waiting. We got Jesse Lang checking in from APAC. What's up? We got Lon Kmeyer, Connie Pearson over there, Hosea Botley. I think Brian, hold on. Brian Brooks has just touched down at the airport right now at Epley. He's en route right now. The motorcade is pulling up, so we're going to be bringing that to you live here. Very good. Here we got Chris Lauterbach checking in. Shout out from Dallas. What's up, Chris? Allison McDaniel from Alaska. Howdy. Stephanie Towns from Dallas as well. Texas is in the house. Sharon, happy hello. Anandita Chaudhary from USI Law. Looking forward to the conversation. Yeah, put in the comments. I want to know what y'all are thinking out there. Let me ask you this: as we're sitting here, we talked about the election coming up. We got 2025 on the horizon. I'm hearing more volume, which is music to our ears. Right? This pause has felt like it's lasted a year and a half. What are you thinking about and kind of working on at your seat, at your level?
We're really looking at how can we help our clients become where mobility is really that leading indicator. They help find the talent and really helping. We think with volume heating up, the war for talent is going to heat up as well. So lump sums aren't going to cut it. So what are the new programs that can really help? And we have a lot in the works that will really help, but still we recognize budgets are still going to be tight going into the new year. Everyone is coming off of tight times. Times will still be tight, so we have to be cost effective. So we have a lot of great things in the works that we can help our clients with. Yeah,
no matter how the economy is doing, cost effective is always in the cards, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I was just reading something that the stock market has 43 all-time highs this year, has performed better than it's been since 2007, I think it is. So I mean, in some ways, it's a frothy time for the economy, but in other ways, it
No
feels
one's
very
feeling
slow.
it.
It feels very slow, right? So there's a kind of a disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street, right, and Relo Street, wherever that is, going right through
Which
Omaha.
just adds to the uncertainty, and
Yeah.
that's why companies are in this mode right now of probably having a lot on pause. And so when that comes off a pause, when we typically see that in the cycle of relocation, that's when volume goes back up and starts to peak.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for some pent-up demand. We had the interest rates were just lowered by the Fed. They're forecasting another lowering of the interest rates, hopefully by the
And
end of
they
the year.
think mortgage rates will hit that maybe magic 5%, which might get a lot of people off the sidelines. They're thinking March 2025 with that, so next
Yep.
spring.
I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads over here. Everybody's like, get those rates down. Let's go. Let's buy some houses. Yeah, I bought high. I'm going to sell low. We'll see what happens. Let's see how it works out for me. Michelle, this is great. I could talk to you forever here, but we got some folks on deck here.
People waiting.
We do. Michelle, thanks so much for having me.
Ben. Thanks
I'm
for
so
being
excited.
here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great.
And hand that mic over to Lon Kmeyer, everybody. Let's give Lon a round of applause here. Let's get that. Cue the walk-up music for Lon here. If Lon had a walk-up song and we could afford to license one, what would it be? I'm thinking like AC/DC or something, like something intense maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, Ben. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm a
What would your walk-up song
WWE
be?
fan,
Oh,
so
here
I
we
feel
go.
like I would need something like the Seth Rollins "Burn It Down," like some heavy drums
like
and some
just
guitars,
going for
and just get everybody pumped up and excited.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
dig it. Lon Kmeyer, it's so good to see you, buddy. Always
see you,
always
man.
enjoy my time here in Omaha, and a happy Wednesday to you.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, that color looks phenomenal.
Thank
on
you.
It's a very in vogue
try
color
to,
these days.
look dapper and make sure everybody look good, feel good.
That's right.
perform
Play
right?
good. That's right. Get in the comments here. I want to know what you're thinking there. We got people checking in. Teresa Pope, hello from Phoenix. Sharon says, great info. Michelle,
All right.
nice job. Early polls suggest good performance there, Michelle. George Meyer, hello from New York. What's up, George? I got to ask you. We talk a little bit about these port strikes. Man, is this like a big deal? No deal? What are we thinking here?
Well, I think you're going to have a few guests on later that can probably provide some really much better
Hosea,
insight than I
do some
can.
research, Hosea.
Yeah, Hosea, we're looking for you on this.
It's all about the suppliers. We lean on our supply chain, don't we?
No, I think it's a huge deal now, but I do think that they'll get something worked out and we'll get things back to normal. Like we gotta keep things moving in the supply chain,
Gotta
and
keep it
I think
moving.
everyone recognizes that. And I hope that they'll, I think the initial talk last night was that they were at the table and they were bargaining in good faith, whereas before
Well,
maybe they weren't. So
that's a
let's
start.
hope that continues.
That's a start right here before the holidays, before kind of the Black Friday shipping happens,
Yeah.
Gosh, I just remember being at a conference a couple years ago when they announced some of the issues at the Port of Long Beach, and then the tumult that happened after that, and the higher prices and the Tickle Me Elmos weren't readily available,
Right.
things like that. So, I hope we can avoid that. I hope we've learned our lesson a little bit there.
Yeah, I hope so too, because you can't have kids, unhappy on Christmas. We can't
Yeah.
have, people running to the store buying pallets of toilet paper and everything else. We got to keep things moving, and hopefully we learn some lessons from that and have been a little bit more.
Good reminder from Lon to stockpile toilet paper. Brian Wilson says no effects.
Brian, I think there's some NoFX songs we could have as a walk-up, but
There
I'm
we
still
go.
going to go with the Seth Rollins one.
Nice. Janet Turner, hey. Nice, Janet. Thank
Lynn.
you. Lynn Ripley, hi, Lon and Ben. I'm always second fiddle to Lon.
Oh,
Matt, hey, Ben and Lon, Boston in the house. Beantown.
Yep. Let's go Pats. Let's go Celtics. Let's
Oh
go
my
Bruins.
Gosh. How did you become a Boston sports fan? You got Iowa State Cyclones on the one hand.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a funny story. Well, as a kid growing up, Larry Bird is my favorite player, so
mean,
naturally
sure. Larry
become a Celtics fan that way. And then, I got into college football at a young age, like this guy named Drew Bledsoe, and
Nothing wrong with Drew.
He got drafted by the Patriots. Everybody around here is a Chiefs fan or a Bears fan or a Broncos fan, like Phillip. And,
oh no!
I didn't want to be that, so I latched on to Drew, and I became a Patriots fan back when it wasn't cool in 1993.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit I was one of the idiots that wanted him to start over Brady in that first Super Bowl.
Well, I think we should also be noted that Drew Bledsoe did spend some time in Dallas. So does that make you a Dallas Cowboys fan?
No, it doesn't, because this was post. He went from the Patriots to the Bills to the Cowboys, and then off the map. Now he's making some great wine, I hear.
There you go. Very cool. Pete or MySac, checking in, keep things moving and growing. Olivia Bakrami here from Canada. Hey, folks, what's up, Olivia? Let me ask you, Lon, since you kind of work with you manage kind of the supply chain and everything, and from your seat, what are you thinking about right now? What are you kind of working on?
So we're working on, well, as a whole, NEI is working on a new enterprise resource program. So we're looking at right-sizing our network. We have a lot of great partners, but we're also looking at where those partners can be most effective in certain areas. And with this new resource program, we're going to be able to really allow them to work in those areas and send those orders to the ones that are the best fits for that, and continue to just put them in the best position to succeed. That's one of the things that we want to do from the supply management side is we know we got great partners. We always want to put them in a position where they can shine and really show, they can provide the service exceeding expectations that we come to expect from them.
Nice. I'm going to ask the question on everybody's mind here in 1 second, but Janet Turner says, I can't see you on LinkedIn. I'm seeing folks coming in on LinkedIn, Janet, so check again. Janet, Mark Burchell says, please make Arsenal your Premier League team.
Yeah, I'm not really a soccer guy, so I guess I'm open for business for what's the best.
Just say, listen,
Premier
who's buying
League
the
team.
drinks, right? I'll root for who you want me to root. I'm on the take.
Who's getting the pints?
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you the question, kind of everybody thinks about when they want to talk to Lon, and that's like what makes a really good supplier for NEI Global?
Well, I think one of the main things is it's meeting us. It's customizing your approach to what our expectations are. We're not a one-size-fits-all RMC, so we need you to adapt to our level. And I've gotten some really positive feedback from companies. Cromwell Environmental is one that comes to mind of how we raised the customer service level of all their employees, and how that when they have new people, they have them train with us because they know that we have a very high level of expectation and communication from our service partners, and if they can meet NEIs, it'll be smooth sailing for the rest of them. Shout out to Clint Idle on that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a big compliment right there. What are some of the activities that you're going to be kind of spearheading for us this week?
So I get to.
I saw you staking out your spot on the podium over there.
I was envisioning success as the MC again this year. Yeah, manifesting success. I hear that's a millennial term. I feel like I'm more of a Zennial. 1982, I more identify with Gen X. I'm
an 82 guy too here. Yeah, exactly. There we go. All right.
But yeah, and we're hosting a nice sponsorship seminar here the next 2 hours.
Okay.
Some cocktails. Get some free stuff. I'll be interested to see what cool trinkets everyone has, and how those are always evolve, and always something new and fun in there. So
what's the best giveaway that you've seen at a conference?
Oh man,
anything stick with you?
Oh, I think
any best giveaways out there? We'll ask the audience here.
Well,
any favorite giveaways?
I want to say we had a great giveaway for a client event, which was a 2-night trip to Vegas as part of a casino night that we had. So I think that, I'd love to, a couple free nights in Vegas. I'd probably make my way up to Zion for a little bit too.
Yeah,
but
that's a nice one. Really,
I'll take a trip, something like that.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
We were giving away some Love and Relo T-shirts.
Oh yeah,
actually, some Love and Relo T-shirts. We had some tumblers, the classic tumbler.
I must have been left off the list.
Hey, shout out to the team. Go into the inventory, pull out a 3X for Lon. I think that's all we have left. Send it over. His tailor will take care of it for him.
I've been on 5 times. You think I would at least have
what is this? This ain't Saturday Night Live, okay? You don't get a robe, okay? You don't get a smoking jacket or something, Lon, all right? It's a low budget show,
take a hat,
okay?
at least.
Yeah.
Something.
Get him a hat, people. Get him a hat. What's something we should be thinking about maybe as we kind of go into to 2025? What's something that you're thinking about?
Well, I think we're all thinking what Michelle had said, and that's, we're thinking more volume, and we're thinking like, hey, let's get ready for this, and let's be ready to assist where needed, and that I think is what I think we need to be worrying about.
Is there a particular service vertical that you think is maybe growing or going to have an increased maybe importance next year?
I think from the DSP side, it'll be interesting to see the level of personal support needed from transferees, and I think clients are really seeing the value that's provided in the services DSPs provide. And as much as we'd like to think that we can find everything from Google, and we can do our own research and know the best, connecting with those partners that know the area, know the region, know the city, like boots on the ground, like that's going to be the best opportunity for clients to place employees successfully in their destination location.
I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit, okay, Lon? Is there an area of the world, because y'all cover a lot of the world, I mean, y'all are a tri-regional company legitimately, right? Is there an area of the world where DSP services are maybe more challenging than others?
That's a good question. I would say some of our APAC regions and the lesser traveled countries. I know that Vietnam is one where we've had some struggles per se, but we've been able to find some good options there. But I think some of those maybe markets that really haven't been tapped into from the relocation standpoint.
The road less traveled, right? I
Yeah.
mean, where the infrastructure, maybe the support isn't as obvious. What a great segue. You should host this thing. You've been on 5 times. You should probably try hosting at some point. I could use a break. What a great segue to Jesse Lang over here.
Right.
Jesse Lang, everybody, let's give Jesse a round of applause. Let's give Lon a round of applause. Great job there. The crowd goes wild. Absolutely love it. It sounds like Fenway in here, actually. This is fantastic. Come on, Jesse, don't leave me hanging over here, okay? Sorry. No, it's fine. She had to come a long way. She's in APAC. Wonderful. Thanks, Lon. Appreciate you very much. It's all right. There you go. Yeah, it's just there you go, Jesse. Yeah, you can hold it too if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, just hold it.
Okay.
You got
I
it.
think I got it.
Ta-da. Awesome, Jesse. Hey, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you came. Did you come the furthest distance to be here?
I think so.
Yeah. How long was the trip?
About 26 and a half hours.
26 and a half hours.
3 planes and 2 airports. Transit.
Wow. There's not a direct to Omaha.
No, yeah.
No. Okay. Wow. Well, thank you for being here. Lon was saying that that APAC is an area that he's kind of focusing on. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the region.
Well, I think in APAC, a lot is going on right now. Yeah. We have seen more emphasis on building local talents. That's for one. Is because of national agenda, so they are actually having companies to build like regional headquarters in those countries, especially we see in Hong Kong, in Singapore, and Japan as well. So so that's one of the things. And
why is that important for companies' corporate strategy to have a regional headquarters there?
Yeah, because I think companies are realizing that that local market knowledge and knowing the market nuances is very critical for the business success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct. And I think also because right now, of course, there's this geopolitical factors with China and US at play. So so more companies are also moving into emerging markets like what just Long was mentioning, to Vietnam, to Thailand, to Indonesia. So these are like previously we don't really see a lot of moves moving into these countries, but now because of what is happening, between US and between China. So companies are actually moving towards this emerging market because they are lower cost labor and
Sure. Interesting. So of all those kind of countries that you named and areas that you're thinking about, which one might represent the biggest growth opportunity for folks who are watching out there and kind of in the relocation industry and thinking about, where might I make an investment or focus? What would you advise them?
Actually, right now I'm seeing exponential growth actually in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are seeing a lot of those maybe pharmaceutical and tech company. They are moving there and they're building a big hubs over there, and they're hiring we are talking about thousands of
Yeah.
people,
Wow.
in India. Yeah, and so we are actually moving a lot of either temporary assignments or those low cost short-term assignments, and even intra-India. So they are hiring them and kind of giving them maybe a lump sum, or giving them limited support to help them move between the cities in India.
You know, it's so funny you say that. I mean, I've been hearing some of the same, right? I mean, forever we've been importing talent from India, and we look at the H-1B numbers, and 75% approximately are from India, right? And China's a distant second. And then when I talk to my friends over like at USI Law, for instance, who were just over there in Hyderabad, and they're just like, the growth is incredible. The amount of technology centers and headquarters and the logos that you're seeing on these towers are just, it's incredible.
Correct, you're right. A lot of MNC logos are all over India right now.
Yeah. Really interesting. And I wonder, when the strategy has been historically to move folks here to the U.S. in order to kind of grow companies here, and now we're just like, maybe we can't get talent here fast enough. We're just going to go and we're just going to make a new regional headquarters over there. And are we going to start to see, talent start going the other way?
Yeah, probably. I think so. Yes.
Yeah, is it time to get some U.S. talent ready to go be expats over in India?
Yes,
Yeah?
definitely. Yeah, I think
Nice.
it's one of the things to watch. I think our DSP in India has been really growing rapidly, and they have been expanding their team, expanding their resources in India.
I think there's a real opportunity from what I hear, and I'd love to hear your perspective, for DSPs in India to maybe take on more services than they do even in other parts of the world. I've heard from partners in, for instance, temporary housing, furnished apartments. That's a challenge sometimes in India, but I've heard that folks are relying on DSPs maybe sometimes to put that together.
Actually, you are right. Yeah, so we have
Actually,
DSP.
she said that surprised that I said, actually, you're right. I'm surprised too.
Yeah, so actually our DSP partner in India, we do have one that we work with, and they not only are also having that temporary accommodation arm, they also have transport. So you can also ask them to help us with our airport transfer, or even for car rental. So they kind of really provide a full range of services. So they're not just into DSP nowadays, they're kind of a full range.
Yeah, really interesting. Get in the comments. I want to hear what your thoughts are. If you have questions about the APAC region, we have Jesse here. So ask the expert here. Let's see, folks are tuning in here. What's up, Daisy from Glomo HQ? Hey. What's up, Daisy? Lynn says, I agree with Jesse and Ben about India. Thank you, Lynn. We appreciate your agreeance. India has now been a growing power for quite a while now. Is there another country maybe that has flown under our radar a little bit in maybe in the U.S. And that you really see kind of emerging and becoming a center?
I think Vietnam or Indonesia is also the next country to watch. Simply because Indonesia as well, because Indonesia is the population is
It's massive.
It's massive.
I didn't understand how big it is.
It's very under potential right now. So I think with businesses going into Indonesia, I think we're going to see also growth there, similar to what we see in India.
And there's a lot of really highly educated people. All the people I met from Indonesia are very, very smart. And so you have a lot of people, right? And people really are, I think, the number one indicator of growth in a gross domestic product, right? Do you have the people, right? And then do you have the education? And so that's really interesting. Are there certain industries that you think lend themselves to maybe setting up shop in these countries? Do you see a trend there around industry? We hear a lot about manufacturing, for instance, in China for obvious reasons, but and maybe tech in India. Are there other things that maybe we should be thinking about or looking for?
Pharmaceutical.
Really?
I think they are moving into this emerging markets as well.
Yeah. Really. Now let me ask you this, and now we talked about opportunities. I want to talk a little bit about challenges, right? So what are some of the challenges that you're seeing, since you are the APAC regional manager, what are some of the challenges that you see in the region from a relocation and mobility perspective?
challenges will be if, let's say, some of our clients, because they start moving into these emerging markets. So, like, for example, now in Vietnam, we are moving people into Razia. I'm not sure whether you heard of this.
No, I've not heard of
city.
it. No.
Yeah, so it's like, so it was challenging for us because we were like, where is this place? I have to go on a Google map to find it, and then it's pretty much quite undeveloped. Like, there isn't any much temp accommodation over there, so we had to kind of really partner with our temp living partner, to find a proper location for them. And so good thing, our temp accommodation partner, they are all very resourceful. They managed to find local partner over there who help us to source accommodation for our signees going in there. And then in terms of support as well, our DSP was usually they usually service only Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi. So this is also like a new location for them. They have not sent or helped anyone there, so they have to personally go down there for look-see trip themselves.
Yeah, the suppliers are taking look-see trips. Like, we don't know either. What's going on down there?
Correct. So they were there and then helping us to look around. Where's the bank? Where's the hospital? Where to get stuff for the expat and everything for us. So that's how we partner.
That's
with
great.
our partners.
And coming from the supplier side myself, I love hearing stories like that because it just underscores the strategic importance of having great relationships with your suppliers and that trust that you can say, listen, I need you to kind of go outside the norm. I know you're here and I know you're here, but I need you to be there.
Correct.
And that takes quite a bit of investment. It takes quite a bit of trust on the supplier side to trust you, Jesse, to say, okay, the business is going to be there to support this investment, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, very cool. This is awesome. Anandita Chaudhary from USI Law getting in here. Shout out to USI Law. India inbound has really taken off post-COVID. Cool. She says the language, the work ethic, strong educational foundation are the main advantages when it comes to India. Awesome, Anandita. Thank you for that. Jesse, before we move on to Philip here, what's maybe one thought you want to leave us with as we think about the APAC region from a U.S. perspective?
What is one thought? I think there's a lot of potential in APAC.
I think you're right.
And so we really hope to see more movement, more mobility, more aspects coming into APAC region. There's still a lot to be explored.
Well, hopefully I get to Singapore sometime and I could do a show there. I'd love that. All right, wonderful. Let's give it up for Jesse over here. All right, and we're going to welcome Philip over here. Let's go here. Oh, Jesse, I got one question for you while Philip comes up here from Non-Park. Non says, would love to get your thoughts on the corporate consensus between SG and from Singapore and Hong Kong footprint. We have seen the Hong Kong to Singapore movement since pre-pandemic. Do you see more reversal now considering Hong Kong conditions are improving?
Yes, definitely we see that as well because Hong Kong right now, we're actually seeing a movement back into Hong Kong. So because I guess the economies are getting stronger, they also have a robust healthcare system to start with, and the government system they are also established. So we are actually seeing people moving back into Hong Kong, not so much maybe from Singapore, but from like the other countries around the world, like from China to Hong Kong as well.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. Great question,
you.
Nan. All right. Let's see here. We got Philip here. Hugo says, thank you, Ben and Jesse. Great content. All right. We got a vote for Jesse over here. There you go. Nice job, Jesse. Philip, how's it going?
How's it going?
It's good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to be back here in Omaha.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Philip, we last time I was here, we did a little pod.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It is, yeah. So
Probably the best pod I've ever done. I've done like 650 of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
I wouldn't disagree. He's seen two, and he's like, if they're all like the two I've seen, definitely.
Zach Turbis does a great job for us.
He does.
Hosting that.
Your whole team does. So shout out to the other Ben, by the way. He's amazing as well. Your whole team does a fantastic production quality. Plug the pod for everybody out there that has
so Relocation Leaders, our podcast, and like Ben mentioned, other Ben, does a lot of the background work. Zach Turbis,
bring that up a little bit for me here.
Zach Turbis does a lot of our
get up high.
hosting and asking questions and all that, setting up the topics, setting up the guests. So when Ben was in town doing a LOVE+RELO podcast, we couldn't pass up the opportunity to get him on there.
It was awesome, and you guys were gracious enough to give me two two episodes because I wouldn't shut up. They're like, we're running over, but we'll just make it 2.
Yeah,
That was
we
nice.
got Ben coming on, so let's just go ahead and call it 2 to
Yeah.
begin with, and then we're sure we could fill the time.
Yeah, no, definitely subscribe to that. Where can they find that podcast?
Yeah, so anywhere you can find podcasts, Spotify, your podcast app if you have an iPhone, and also our website. So if you hop on there and apply for all access, all of our podcasts are on there. You can search through them.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, definitely subscribe to that. Philip, as the Director of Global Client Development, what are you focusing on?
Yeah, so I focused on the emerging market, which here at NEI just means anyone who does 30 or fewer relocations annually, whether that be domestic, U.S. domestic, or international. But it's a great market. I mean, there's so
many of those.
growth.
I would say, like, honestly, like most companies fall in that bucket.
Yeah, there's a ton.
I mean, Glomo falls in that bucket. We did 1 relo this year.
Yeah, there you go.
1 relo.
Yeah.
We should have called NEI. You could have managed it for us.
I know, yeah.
Could have grossed it up. I was over here doing the calculations 12 times. I could have called Jamie.
You think
know?
you're friends with somebody. And
You
then
think you're friends, and
you
then they
find out
reload
after
without
the fact,
you.
yeah.
You know, I think that's the truth, man. You think you're friends, you think you know somebody, and then they give somebody a lump sum. You know, it's like, I taught you nothing.
lump sums, that's the key word for this market.
Yeah.
Usually it's in-house programs.
So
right?
what's the key?
So-
What's the key with these small but numerous programs? Like, what's the key to really figuring this out? Because there's so much mobility in the world. Mobility on the macro is increasing. Managed mobility is challenged.
Yeah.
So what's the key to really wrapping our arms around, as a managed relocation industry, wrapping our arms around this highly fragmented market segment?
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, a lot of these programs are managed in-house by people who don't have a ton of experience with relocation in general. A lot of lump sums. That's what we tend to see. But it really is this huge market of HR professionals that are looking to get educated on
Yep.
relocation. You know, maybe it just gets tossed on their plate as an add-in to their job. So they don't know exactly what's going on. But when they come to us, that's where we get to kind of educate them and show them this whole world of assistance that's out there. So we talk about our service partners that are coming into town. That network is what really empowers me to go, you know, anything and everything that you need help with, we can provide because of this vast network that we
Yeah.
have. And that's one side of it. The other side is, you know, a lot of times when they're looking to go out for the first time, they don't know who to reach out to. So they're kind of just Googling and you know, we
Google is not your friend in relocation.
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying, Google's your friend. It's not in relo. It's the opposite.
Yeah. So we just want to make sure that once they find us, once they get that foot in the door, that we give them such a great experience that they never want to leave. Growing with them is the goal.
How do you even access this market? Because sometimes they don't even know they're doing a relocation. They don't even know. They might be treating it like a extended business travel, or they might be expensing it versus, you know, treating it like a tax. You know, it's like it's taxable. I mean, they might call it a hiring bonus and not a relocation, you know, package. How do you even find these folks?
I will say some of it comes to us when people reach that threshold of growth that they just say, we can't handle this anymore in-house. We have to go looking. That portion of the population does come to us. A lot of it is you see the types of companies that come in, and you start to look into that sector and see what other companies of equal size and equal amount of locations are out there. And odds are they probably do relocation or are about to do relocation as well.
Yeah.
So it's just about getting in front of them, letting them know that we exist and we're out here and we're looking to help.
Do you see like a client persona or a profile or a type of company that really kind of fits this? I mean, the first one that kind of comes to my mind is doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
You know, like law firms might have 50, you know, or 100 associates or whatever. You know, they're higher end, you know, professionals, but because of the partnership structure of a law firm or a tax firm, sometimes they're not really given these really robust benefit packages. It's kind of sink or swim. You're treated almost like a contractor or something, you know. But yet you need support because you got a big old house.
Yeah. So, I mean, with the pharmaceutical industry that you mentioned and doctors and stuff like that is life sciences is a big portion of our population. I mean, manufacturing is another big one. Anyone who has warehouses all across the country that they need to staff, you know, they're going to be sending people around. But most recently, I've had 3 or 4 within the past 2 weeks that have reached out that are all in pharmaceutical related
wow.
fields. So, I mean, this is a little anecdotal, but
Hey.
that's just kind of what I'm
This
seeing,
whole this whole podcast is anecdotal data. If you're looking for real, you got to tune into Bloomberg or something, because it's not happening here. Okay,
Yeah.
it's all anecdotal here.
But it's great. These companies are like, hey, we have the funds, we just don't know what we're doing, so we're just signing checks, and it helps people to a certain extent, but they're also out here on their own looking for household goods companies, looking for their own temp living.
Yeah.
So they're kind of floundering a little
I
bit.
feel like there's a moment where talent acquisition is writing offer letters and they're just not getting accepted,
Yeah.
that they start to raise their hand and like, we need to put a package together.
And that's a big point too, is, one story I've heard 3 times in the past month is we keep making offers to candidates and they keep accepting a different offer because they get a relocation package. They get that assistance selling their home.
Yeah.
They get that assistance getting their family
Sure.
to the new location. So it's something that we feel like we almost have to do to be competitive.
Yeah.
And relocation management companies like ourselves are essentially an extension of that HR program. And we're the first face you see as what your company is when you're a new hire coming in. So
Yeah.
that's why, like Lon mentioned, services exceeding expectations. That's why that's the goal.
Yeah.
It's because we want to make you look as good as possible for that new employee.
Well, and that's a lot of times what that HR professional is looking for. Like, hey, I don't want to screw this up. Don't make me look bad, right? Make me look good. Make me look like I know what I'm doing. Keep us out of trouble, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So anyway, really, really cool, really interesting. What's your favorite part of this week?
Gosh, okay. So he told me before we got on here, a little behind the scenes, don't say the people.
Can't say the people.
Because that's what everyone says. I guess I could say this is a little bit of a cop out.
You're gonna end around me. You're gonna circumvent me with
It's the
people.
energy. You get into a building with all of your friends that you haven't seen.
Oh,
in
friends.
years.
He said friends.
Yeah. Well, I guess minus Ben, since he
Oh,
didn't reach
man.
out to us.
Oh,
He didn't reach out to us. But yeah, no, it's great. You get to see people again. You get to really build those relationships, and I really do enjoy seeing everyone, and it kind of reminds you that it is one big family around here that's helping you out. So.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. All right, awesome. Philip Wynn, Director of Global Client Development. Let's give him a hand here. Okay, great job, great job. We got Connie Pearson coming up here next. Hand the mic. The microphone baton is now handed to Connie. Appreciate y'all. This is a lot of fun. Stay tuned. Get in the comments here as well. Hit that like button. We've got Hosea Botley from Universal Global, and we also got Brian Brooks coming up from EU Ward Moving and Storage. But right now, we've got Connie Pearson here, Director of Domestic Operations. Connie, it's a real pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for coming.
Look at us, aren't we fancy up on this big old stage, huh?
Yeah.
Look at us. We made it, Connie.
Yeah, absolutely.
We made it. Awesome. Connie, tell us a little bit about what you do at NEI Global.
I'm one of the directors of domestic operations, so I lead one of the domestic operations team.
Very cool. Very
So-
cool. What do you when you say operations? I mean, y'all do a lot of stuff. What part of the operations are you working on?
My team is the account executives and the assistants. So the account executives are the single point of coordination
Okay.
for the domestic moves.
Okay.
So they do soup to nuts. They're
Okay.
supporting that transferee's family from the point of candidate all the way to final settled, done, home
Okay.
sold, home purchased,
Nice.
goods moved, everything.
And I gotta say, one thing that's really unique about NEI is that y'all call those folks account executives.
Uh-huh.
What is that, and why do y'all do that?
I was at another relocation company at one point, and they called them counselors. I think that there's some validity to that term because we do a lot of counseling.
Sure.
But I think account executive reflects the level of ownership of the NEI team members.
I like that.
That's one of our big mottos is own it.
Own it.
Own it.
See it everywhere. Own it. Own it. I love
Yep,
it.
exactly.
Love it.
Yep. And the team members really feel that. They are on the same client, moving the same transferees sometimes, 2-3 times. We had one
Wow.
this week. This is my 3rd time. Don't ever assign me to anybody else.
Oh, they come in requesting somebody.
yeah, definitely,
Oh, wow.
definitely.
Well, that's a good sign. They
Yeah.
actually remember who it is and
Yeah.
they liked it.
We have account executives who have been on the same client for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
it's not uncommon,
Yeah.
across the teams. So yeah.
I got to ask you, you deal with a lot of folks, and what's the best part of your job? What's your favorite part of
Helping
it?
the teams help the transferees. Trying to solve whatever the problem is or whatever the challenge is to get both their emotional situation under control and get them moving forward to security, happiness, enjoyment in the new location.
Yeah, I love that answer too, and it brings me back to when I was like 24 and getting started in corporate America, and I got to a company, and one of the senior people that was kind of working next to me said, "You want to do well at this company, help a customer or help somebody who is."
Yep,
And I said, and that stuck with me for a long time,
exactly.
and and so it resonates with me what you're
Yep.
saying, Connie.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You've seen a lot of change in this industry, and where kind of are we now, and some of the challenges that have emerged, and maybe challenges that maybe those account executives are kind of working through, and things that are maybe a little more difficult than they used to be.
There's a lot that's more difficult than it used to be. I think the thing that I've been really focused on this year is the NAR settlement.
Oh yeah.
I've served on the relocation management group under WERC.
Okay.
So we have done so much talking in the industry about what does it mean, how's it going to work,
Yeah.
what are the outcomes going to be, how can we make it work and be compliant. And honestly, I'm really impressed with our industry and how we have cooperated. I won't say colluded because we haven't colluded.
No.
We have cooperated.
Just talking.
To talk about processes. What kinds of documents do we need to change within our industry? And that's across the different venues.
Have any of those changes kind of been decided, and maybe anything that we can learn from this?
Oh yeah, the WERC has a proposed draft of a buyer's agency relocation rider
Okay.
to help those relocating employees attach it to the buyer agency agreement, because those agreements are vastly different. Every state, every MLS down to the brokerage level has different kinds of forms.
Oh wow.
And it's even worse on the listing side.
So are these buyer broker agreement documents going to have to be different by state?
Yeah, that's what the counselors are dealing with.
Wow.
Is every single one they're working with is different, and the states all have different laws.
Sheesh.
Some of the states have new laws in compliance with the NAR settlement. Some don't. Some are in the works. So we are seeing all kinds of things across the board, which is why to get more consistency within our industry, we've come up with the rider that we can attach that makes it more protects the transferee.
Yeah. Yeah, really interesting. Wow. Do you think that this, what kind of an impact is this? That's the question that everybody's been talking about
That
for
is
the
the
last
question.
6 months. It's like, what is the impact going to be to the managed relocation industry? Have you started to see an impact? Is there any impact? Is there no impact yet? Is it gonna kind of flesh out later?
All
what
of
are
the
your
above.
thoughts? Well, that wasn't one of the options, Connie.
We are not seeing a lot of impact yet, but we're only 45 days into the settlement starting.
Right, in a very
So,
low volume, kind
Low
of like
volume
yeah,
time.
right.
The settlement just went into effect. We are just now getting to closings
Okay,
that came in under, contracts that came in under that settlement. So
sure.
it's going to be a while before we have a really solid sense of how things will shake out. I think we're going to see a variety that's greater than we have seen in the past. What we're starting to see and what we're expecting to see right now is we're seeing things pretty much same as they have been. Commissions are not changing that much. Buyers are still using agents, but ultimately that's going to be driven by each individual market and even down to each individual house. Whether the seller's willing to pay for that buyer commission or not.
Wow. So it's not just if the buyer's using the agent and willing to sign that, but also is the seller willing to still continue to pay.
Correct.
And what are your thoughts? I mean, are sellers going to, I mean, are they gonna, I mean, are they
They
gonna,
are so far.
so far?
They're continuing to pay it for the most part so far. Again, it's very early days.
Yeah,
And it's going to depend on the market. So
Yeah.
if they're in a spot where it is a slower market, sellers will pay for it because that's how they'll get the house sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're looking at the bottom line. And the really good real estate agents, which is, our network agents, they know how to talk to the seller about the offer and what's your bottom line. Not
Mm-hmm.
are you paying the buyer's agent or not, but what is your net profit out of this
Yeah.
transaction.
really, really interesting. I know I don't have you for long here, so I got one more question. Kind of, I'd love to know in your kind of your observation and your experience, how have the transferee expectations kind of changed? I got to smile. Yeah, yeah.
I think that transferees are more stressed, more anxious, more less patient. They're more. It's the Amazon effect to some degree.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
everything needs to
I hear
happen
that.
right now,
Yeah,
and they don't want to wait for the appraiser to finish the report and us to review the report.
Yep.
But that still has to happen.
it has to happen. Yeah,
So it's harder in many cases, but we're still doing the same things we've always done, which is help the family get from one place to another, and we're still getting the fabulous evaluations that say, "I couldn't have done it without you."
yeah.
So
It's funny, they expect and maybe want and say they want a certain thing, but at the end of the day, they're still scoring you high on the human service that you
absolutely,
provide.
yes,
Yeah, isn't that funny? The disconnect sometimes we see between what people say that they want and then what they do and what they buy and what they
Yep.
end up being thankful for.
yeah. I don't get me wrong. For the most part, the transferees and the client contacts are fabulous.
Yeah,
They're wonderful. We love working with them. It's just it's ratcheted up the intensity a little bit in the last few years.
well, and I think just society, right? I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
our phones, the Netflix, Amazon, it's hard to even open in a restaurant that doesn't have a drive-through anymore. It's like we just want everything now and brought to us.
Agreed.
And processes just aren't there yet in every way. So, really interesting.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of strides, though, on more electronic use for even
That's
the
what I was
real
going to
estate
ask you about.
transaction.
Yeah, electronic.
We do all of our contracts of sale electronically.
Wow, really?
We're doing more and more of the deed package electronically.
That's so interesting. I just bought a house
just-
a month ago, and I had to go sit down and sign, 50 pages of documents.
Absolutely. A lot of that is driven by the recording office
Okay.
of, where that house is located.
Okay.
So the county's driving some of that, but there are more and more locations that will accept electronic.
Okay. So if I bought my
Signatures.
house through NEI, I wouldn't have to go show up and sign all those papers?
Depends on where your house is.
Okay.
But yes,
Maybe next time.
maybe next time.
Awesome. Give Connie Pearson a hand here. You are awesome, Connie. Thanks so much. And we're going to welcome Hosea Botley, founder and CEO of Versal Global, to the stage here. We're passing the proverbial microphone baton here. Look at this. It's great. That mic is hot, y'all, so just be careful, all right? Hey, Hosea, you going to leave me hanging up here? What's going on? It's a live broadcast, y'all. Live television here. Cut to commercial. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Hosea's wearing Lon's jacket. Nice to see you, Hosea. Looks good on you. Who wore it best? This is great here. Brett Perry checking in. Hi from Omaha. Looking forward to catching up with all the great folks at NEI Global Relocation here at the Partner Summit. What's up, Brett? Get in the comments here. Hit that like button, y'all. Last but not least here, Hosea Botley, my friend. How are you, sir?
It's a rough go right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's wrong, man?
Strike, man.
Oh, the strike. How many? 3 strikes, you're out. Tell us about the strike. What's
Yeah.
going on? We've seen some videos about this on the LinkedIn. It's even on the TikTok, so you know it's serious.
Well, it's very serious, in my opinion. We can't control the strike, and as I was telling my team, but we can't control our communication. We can control ensuring our accounts are updated, and we can control, our creativity. We got to get creative now. So I think I found some workarounds to get some shipments out of here.
What are we doing? Where are we going with them? What are we doing? Coming through
going to-
Mexico?
we're
We
going
going
to
to the West
Toronto.
Coast? Where we go? Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The St. Lawrence Seaway? How are we getting there?
We're gonna
I'm
truck
going
it
back
out.
on my geography from 7th grade here. My New York State geography. We taking the Hudson all the way up to.
I'm working with my agent up in Toronto to get some shipments up to Canada, and then let them do the routing for me.
All right, I got questions. I got more questions here. Get in the comments here. Is Hosea crazy, or is he on to something, or both? Janet Turner said, "Good to see you both." Good to see you too, Janet.
Yeah.
Much love out there. Anandita Chaudhary, hello, my friend Hosea.
Hello.
Great to see you two friends in the same frame. Yeah, Hosea's kind of slipping over there. I don't know. You need to get you. We need to get you a couple phone books. We got to get you a booster. Anyway, I'm sitting up kind of high right now. Anyway, how does stuff get to Toronto? Last I checked, Toronto was like a inland
No, you could
city.
No, well, no, you could truck. We truck Toronto all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how does it work? Where's the boat go?
Well, no, they do have a port there that they can.
So the boat goes to there's a port of
well,
Toronto.
well, yeah.
Pardon me, I'm ignorant. It's kind of my shtick.
Ontario, yeah.
Okay, Ontario.
Yeah, so we can get up to Toronto. We're working on all the details right now.
So the idea is to come into the port of Toronto, and then you take it off, and now you got a different situation because
Well,
now you're in Canada.
We're gonna have to remanifest it. Yeah.
Remanifest.
Yeah.
So Lon was over here manifesting earlier. Now you're remanifesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the jacket.
It's the
Yeah,
jacket, man.
manifest and remanifest.
Yeah,
That's what we're
yeah,
gonna call you
yeah.
all show here.
Yeah.
So then you remanifest up there, and then you truck it cross border. How does that work?
Well,
or do you go to a bonded warehouse?
My great friend up there, Ray Abbott up at Tippett Richardson, he's working on all the details for me right now. Once he sends me all the information, we'll be able to get it up to his port depot, and then he have to remanifest it and provide us all the shipping information.
All right, you heard it here, folks. If you want to get around the port closures, call Hosea. He will remanifest it for you. Pretend it never happened. Janet Turner says, question, and she should know this, she
Yeah.
says, can we return empties to the ports? What does that mean?
No, I don't think you can.
Like the ports, like the closed ports?
Yeah,
Can we
right.
bring them back?
Yeah.
Or are the gates
Well,
just
yeah.
closed? Are they throwing rocks at you like scabs? Like, how's it working?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out all the details right now. I mean, what are these vessels doing right now? They just arriving to the port, or they just sitting there and waiting in line to hopefully
I
one
bet
day
they're
it
waiting
opens
in
up?
line. I bet they're waiting in line like they
so-
were in Port of Long Beach a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, remember that? Port of Seattle as well.
What was,
So
is this, are we going to have
also,
that
too,
all over
You know,
again?
we're able to get some of our shipments to the West Coast and route it out of the West Coast. So hopefully they don't shut down. So other than that, if they shut down, we are in serious trouble.
Speaking of shutting down in serious trouble, Brian Brooks' motorcade is stuck in Omaha rush hour. Unforeseen circumstance there, so Brian will probably not be joining me. He should have went and remanifested through Toronto, I think, is what he should have did. Shout out to Brian Brooks at EE Ward. That's why Brian Brooks gives 2-hour ETAs when he shows up on the job. Really interesting. Janet Turner's got a question. Get in the comments here. We got questions about the port closures.
Empties to the port.
Well,
That's a great question.
we got a
Janet.
new-
We got to figure that out.
Yeah,
you know?
get in the comments if you know the answer to that. We got another question here from Janet. She says, that's a great idea about remanifesting. How expensive is it to remanifest?
Well, we're about to find out.
We
I'm
fit
still
to find out.
I'm still working out all the details.
It's going to cost you more than a bourbon on the rocks and somewhat less than the original shipment cost.
I'm
probably.
waiting on Ray to give me all the details.
All right, we got another question here. Ray's chiming in. Hello, Ben and Jose. Ray, get in the comments. How much is it costing to remanifest? Take it easy on us. Don't hurt us. Christmas is around the corner, Ray. Nafis is saying, what's your guess on how long this port strike is going to last?
Jesus, man. You know, keep hearing it could last a week, it could last a month. We don't know. I mean, we don't know. They're not even talking right now. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
of this morning, there was no set plans for them to go back to the negotiating table.
Nan says, every time I meet Jose, I learn something new, but the world conflicts haven't been easy for him and many others in their line of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any place that's as hot or problematic right now as the eastern port closure. You got anything else cooking over there that's like a total mess, dumpster fire?
Well, you still got your, Lebanon, Israel, but we're not having any shipments going in or out of there
There's
right now.
no
So
shipments going in or out of Israel.
not from Universal right now. I'm not sure about others.
Is that because of demand or is that because of port closure? Is that because people don't
I just
don't
don't think
want
it's- I don't
don't
think
want
it's
that
safe. I
smoke,
think-
or is that because, yeah,
I just don't think it's safe. If anything, they're trying to get out of there.
right.
Yeah.
So they're on the last boat out. Look at that. Who we got? Is that Brian? Is that Brian Brooks? Is that a? Are you? I can't tell. Is that Brian over there? I heard a rumor. Man, he's walking slow. He's walking like a man that's on time. That man is strolling over here right now. Yeah, man. I mean, is this gonna be like? Well, we got Ray coming in. Ray's coming in here. Says I will send Jose the information very soon. Just putting the final touches on it. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I look back at what happened with the Port of Long Beach and everything that went down before, what it did to supply chains, what it did to pricing. I mean, it kind of in a way felt like it kind of kicked off this whole inflation thing that we've been chasing for a while. Well, that and all the free money that was given out during COVID. But we got 3 minutes. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna get rid of you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man. Adios, Jose.
care.
Take care. Pass the microphone
It's
baton
all yours, Brian.
to Brian Brooks here. That is a hot mic, gentlemen. Let's get over here. Let's go. Look at this, man. Looking good, Brian. Looking good, man. He's got the Pepsi. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. How you doing, man? It's good to see
How you doing?
Brian Brooks, EE Ward, Moving and Storage. Man, little traffic out there, huh?
A little bit of traffic.
Little bit of traffic.
in
Hey, that's
Omaha.
why we give 2-hour ETA windows, right? I mean, come on, right? But man, you just flew in. Where'd you fly in from, Brian?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, man. EE Ward Moving and Storage. Big time supplier here at NEI Global Relocation. Want to kind of get the voice of the supplier. Why is it important for you and other suppliers to show up to this event?
Well, it's important to show up to, number one, it's all about partnership.
Yeah.
Gratitude, partnership, and that's the thing that's beautiful about all these situations is when you work with folks, and it is a partnership.
Yeah.
Obviously, Relo, the lovely part of Relo
The lovely part of Relo. I like
is
it.
when we can successfully relocate that EE from location A to location B, and it's a great experience. Transition is seamless. The experience is positive, and we make the best of it. Because obviously we know sometimes transition is not always easy, especially when there's if there's school-aged children involved.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah,
Those are the worst. I got 2 of them. They're terrible. Just moved them.
But no, it's just good to be here. Because these folks do a lot for us, and we try to meet the call of duty.
Yeah, it's great to be partners with NEI Global. I've had the pleasure of working with them in a couple different capacities, and the team here is fantastic. Love the culture. I know we're kind of under the gun here.
Sure.
We do have a question from Janet Turner. She said, "How did Brian's team do with Helene?"
Well, good question. So, our North Carolina locations, we have a location in Charlotte and one in Raleigh. Charlotte got a lot of water, some water in the office, but we were fortunate. Unfortunately, the Asheville area, western North Carolina, is really hit severely. We are working with some of the realtors in the area. They're trying to do some water drops, trying to do some, get some aid out to that area. So we're working on that. We had a couple of drivers actually got stuck over there, and so it was pretty crazy. I mean, no fuel to truck stop, no water. So it's and we actually they're going to be flying some. We're in the process of trying to take some supplies and gather them. They're going to kind of airdrop them in right now.
Well, we appreciate you and EE Ward supporting the hurricane relief efforts. Man, that's just the devastation there and the death toll. And I know we got to wrap up here, so I'm just going to ask you one closing question here. What are you looking forward to most here in the next 12 months here as we look towards 2025?
Optimism,
Yeah.
I think we're 2025. I'm ready to turn that.
Turn the
calendar-
page.
turn
Let's
the
go.
page.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
turn the page. Get those interest rates down.
Interest rates
Election
down,
going on. Let's go.
Get the hiring going.
Yeah.
People get back in the mix of getting back in the office. That seems to be the popular trend right now.
Yep.
Is more back in the office.
Back in the office is good for relocation.
Yes.
I know we got to go here. We're on the main stage, and a lot of people need to use the main stage. Hey, thanks everybody for watching today. We are live here in Omaha at the NEI Global Relocation GPA Summit. About to go have a really good time here. Got a cocktail reception going on. Thanks so much to Michelle Moore and the entire team at NEI. Brian, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hit that like button, get in the comments, and we will see y'all next week.